Welcome back to Sneakers, Stocks, and MTG, the channel where we talk about my two favorite investment, hobby, and collectible, Magic the Gathering and sneakers. My name is Peter, and today we're going to spend some time talking a little bit about my August of 2020 here at the end of the month, and talk about what I bought and what I sold. I plan to do a video like this at the end of every month to show how much time and energy it takes to manage both of these hobbies. I also want you to see that it's not about taking profits right away either. Sometimes it's about buying and holding and waiting for the right time to sell. August was quite a busy month for me in Magic and in sneakers. There were a lot of sneaker releases. I was able to hit on some, didn't hit on others. And for Magic, there was a little bit of movement. I was able to buy a couple of sealed boxes, and then also I was able to purchase a collection. Remember to check out my last video to learn a little bit about how much I spend each month on both Magic and sneakers. Time spent is also really important to me too. I have a full-time job, so what I spend on Magic and what I spend on sneakers has to be efficient. I'll probably do another video later to talk about suggestions and resources you can use to streamline your time in both of these hobbies. If you're like me, you have a full-time job, you have a family, you have other priorities that you need to focus on. So the more that you can make sure that you're in and you're out of these hobbies as quickly as you can, the better. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start with Magic the Gathering. So I have 3 boxes of Modern Horizons. This was my first purchase of the month back on August 3rd. I bought 3 boxes. Each box was about $168. I saw someone post on the MTG Finance Reddit page that said that it was really cheap, plus tax, free shipping because I have Amazon Prime. One of these came like this, and so I called Amazon. I actually recorded a video of me opening the bigger box and saw that this was the case. On the other end, as you can see here, it's sealed. On this end, it's open. Half the booster packs are missing. I let Amazon know, I showed them the video, and they were nice enough. Well, I mean, they should have refunded me. They let me keep the packs, so I actually made out a little bit, and I got 18 free packs along with 2 cheaper booster boxes. On August 10th, I sold a playset of Bogart Harbingers to someone in a Facebook group. I sold them for $23 shipped, so $3 for shipping, $20 for the playset, and it was really quick. I just went back here, looked up the set, which was Lauren, pulled out those cards. I didn't know if I had them, but I just went through really quickly, found out I had a playset of 4, messaged them quick, let them know I had it. I have references on all of the Facebook Magic the Gathering groups, and sold it to them. It was really easy, made a quick 20 bucks. Lastly, on August 20th, I bought a 12,000 card bulk collection. So I bought it for about $75, and if you break that down, that ends up being like $6 per 1,000. I try to keep it within that range. Saw the post, and maybe I'll do a video on how to buy collections later, or at least how I buy collections, and you can take whatever advice you want from it as you will. But I saw it, I knew that it was a good buy at $75. It was really easy, a quick transaction. So next I'm gonna break down a little bit of how much time and energy was spent in the breaking down of that collection, because I feel like that's important. I spent about 4 hours on that collection. I was able to pick through the collection very quickly and then resell the collection after I picked the cards that I wanted for about $3 per 1,000 back to a friend that I have, a resource that I have. And so I got $36 from reselling that collection. It only cost me $75, so I was able to now lower the purchase price of the initial collection down to about 40-something dollars. You know, notable cards I was able to get came close to about $200 afterwards. So $200 cash, $260 in credit. I know not all of the cards are near mint. A lot of them are lightly played or moderately played, so I'll be conservative and say it's about $120, $140, something like that eventually is what I'll get for them. And then I usually take credit, and so taking credit means it ends up being closer to $180, $200, which I think is really good. There was also about 100 bulk rares in there at about 10 cents a rare, and then 4 cents bulk foil as well, so times 200. I had 200 bulk foils. I think that's pretty good. Ending up after the purchase and after the resale, I ended up about 200 profit maybe after I sell the cards back to, you know, places like Card Kingdom or whatever buy list I choose to. And usually I don't sell it right away. I'll hold it for a little bit after I get a bunch of other cards, because you have to pay for the postage as well for Magic buy lists. So I'll usually wait until I get a good amount, maybe $400 or $500 worth of cards, or a bulk amount of cards that is worth shipping in a small flat rate box or whatever, and then I'll end up shipping it at that point. So the total investment amount this month for Magic the Gathering ended up being about $411.82. I ended up making about $23, and then after shipping, $20 in profit. Usually for Magic, there are months when I don't sell anything. Most of the months I don't. And then there are some months when I just unload like $2,000 worth of common, uncommon, rare cards on a buy list or something, and I recuperate a lot of that money. Most of the time, it's a slow drip. You know, I'll sell a little, I'll end up buying a lot more than I sell. At some point, there's one big unload because the cards have hit its peak, or I'm selling a bunch of stuff and it's just worth it for me to put other cards into that buy list as well. If I end up having a lot of higher value cards and I see someone on the buy list or someone on the Facebook group want something, then I'll list it. Most of the time, I'm pretty passive on the Facebook groups. I'm not listing cards actively. It does take a lot of time to do that. It's not something that I do unless I have a lot. I buy a collection and there's a lot of high value cards. High value to me is anything over $10 is usually what I'll list. And then everything else I usually buy list. So for sneakers, it was a really, really busy month. I took a bunch of W's. I took a lot of L's as well. I usually have a couple of family members help me out on the raffles. I'm a manual user. I have started utilizing Twitter and Instagram a little bit more because now that I'm on YouTube, I have a Twitter presence and I have an Instagram presence. So it has allowed me to scroll down and check out a bunch of more stuff. And so I do catch up on some of the restocks and things like that. And so there has been a little bit more time actually put into sneakers than Magic. For sneakers, I probably spent about 10 active hours purchasing, looking for sellers on some stuff, and then, you know, actively researching and looking on Twitter for restocks and hearing about different raffles and knowing what's coming out in the next couple of months and planning on how I spend my money. So let's break down my month. I actually feel like I had a really, really good month. And I'm really excited to show you what I picked up. And if you saw some of my previous videos, you saw some of the stuff. If you're on my Instagram or if you're on my Twitter, you'll see some of the stuff that I picked up. But overall, I thought it was a really, really good month. So let's look at what I got. So here, in my previous video, I've already showed this, talking about buying, holding, or reselling this. I have a Jordan 1 snakeskin, Chicago. This is a 10.5. Again, I'm looking at about resale, about $340. This is something that I'm looking to move right away. I got it for about $170. This was August 6th, I believe. $170, yeah. And then on August 18th, I saw a restock on Twitter. Shout out to Sneaker Twitter for this restock. I actually really like this sneaker. And in a previous video, I did talk about sneakers to look at, things that other people aren't looking at that you should be possibly investing in. This is the Jordan 1 Low Nothing But Net in 11.5. I do like to buy the half sizes. I feel like this is a sneaker that possibly in the next 6 to 9 months I feel like will go up. I do like to invest in these types of sneakers because these are things that people aren't looking at. These are things that don't have as much hype, and then at some point people will realize it. I do like that the sneaker has this Last Dance, the documentary that came out about the Chicago Bulls vibe to it. So I do think that this is something that can go up. I'm guessing maybe $200 at some point. So I bought them for $110. That's a $90 come up. I feel like is pretty good for a sneaker like this. And if it doesn't, I can always just resell it and make my money back. Next, on August 22nd, so I hit on Yeezy Supply. I had a family member hit on the Adidas raffle. And so I was able to pick up 2 pairs of these. And you know what these are? These are the Yeezy Israfils. I have 2 really good sizes, 7.5 and 5.5. I feel like these are really nice colorway. This is something that's going to be very, very sought after in the next 6 to 9 months, I feel like. Got them for $228 or $220 with tax, and I think these are going to go up. Long story short, $350, both of them, resell. How long? Like I said, 6 to 9 months maybe. And then I gotta move these because I actually got sneakers. So what's not here that I haven't received yet because of shipping issues, I did end up hitting on the SB Dunk Metacom Bear Brick Dunks, which is amazing. I never hit on stuff like that. I think it's crazy that I was actually able to hit on it. And so I'm waiting on those. Those are 10.5. Those cost $100. And then on the same day, I also bought, because there was a restock, Jordan 1 Low Laser Blue 5.5 GS size for $85. Again, I like to buy some of these because I like to hold them and see what happens. If you don't have money in it, you're not really, you know, taking a risk. And so me buying one size, putting a little bit of money into it, seeing what happens, I think it'll give me the type of education that I need for future purchases in those colorways, in those sizes, in that style, right? All of that stuff I think is really, really important. And then lastly, the day after, on the 26th, I went to my local boutique so that I can pick up, or try to pick up, the Bear Brick that goes along with the SB Dunk. I got in line too late. They had just ran out, I think, like 6 people in front of me, and I didn't know, right? So I was like, man, what else am I gonna purchase? I go in, and they tell me they have these. Ridiculous. You know what these are. These are the Jordan 1 Japan, neutral grays 2020. They first came out in 2001, and these things are amazing. 10.5, again, it's my size. I don't know why I just keep getting my size, but I never end up wearing any of these sneakers. 170, if you look on the no one is selling these sneakers. GS or men's sizes. These sneakers are not being sold on any of my sneaker groups, at least from what I can see. And I feel like a lot of people are holding these. That's good and bad for many different reasons. I feel like it's still a good hold. Right now, these are sitting at $260. I got lucky. You know, I went in for one thing and I ended up coming out for another. It was pretty amazing. So super happy about that. So I have these. Bring up my Yeezy. So here are 4 shoes. I ended up getting 6 sneakers. 6 sneakers. I did end up selling 1 sneaker. I had won a raffle on Finish Line for a Jordan 12 University Gold and Black, and I finally ended up getting paid for it. So I sold it on StockX a couple of days before I actually got the sneaker. I sent it in, and then a month later, I still have not received payment. Finally, I got the payment, and I sold it for $277 on StockX. After fees, it ended up being about $243, $244, so I made like $53, $52, something like that. It was really easy. I didn't have to do anything. I literally picked up the sneaker from Finish Line, put it in a box, and just sent it away. I was hoping I'd get it faster, but because of everything that's going on, StockX is a little bit slow right now. I probably won't sell on StockX until they fix that. For me, I'm comfortable holding a bunch of things just in case, but because it took that long, it's not worth it for me at this point to sell on StockX. A lot of things can happen while those sneakers are sitting there, let me put it that way. For the month of August, I spent $1,091 on sneakers. I sold 1 sneaker for $243.76, and I was able to make about $53 off that sneaker. As you can see with both sneakers and Magic the Gathering, I didn't make a lot of money. I do have a lot of inventory, but a lot of these releases are really, really new. So it's gonna take time for me to build up this inventory. As I build up this inventory, sneakers will then start to move out. I haven't gotten to that point where these sneakers have aged long enough, where the supply has gone down and where it's gone up to the amount that I feel comfortable moving it at. It will get to that point. I know it will, but it will take some time to do that. And so I ended up holding a lot of things right now. So that was August. Next, September. September is going to be a crazy month for both sneakers and for Magic the Gathering. There's going to be tons of new release for sneakers, so please check out your favorite sneaker YouTuber. I like to watch Seth Fowler. He does sneaker release updates at the beginning of every single month. Sometimes he does 2 to talk about which sneakers are coming up, and it's a good chance for you and for me to decide which sneakers you're going to be going after, which ones you're going to be putting money into, and which ones you're going to be standing off on the sidelines for. It's okay if you don't go after every single sneaker. It's okay if you do go after every single sneaker as well, because you're not going to hit on all of them. There's going to be the month of October, the month of November, December. There's tons of sneakers releasing, so if you miss out on 1 or 2, it's not the end of the world. As I mentioned before, it's also a big month for Magic the Gathering releases as well. Zendikar Rising is coming out on September 17th, I believe. And as with any standard set, There's also a lot of hype that comes behind it. But for Zendikar Rising in particular, we are returning to a plane in Magic the Gathering that everybody loves. And it also happens to be the one time a year that a standard set comes in and a bunch of sets rotate out. This time, Ravnica Allegiance, Guilds of Ravnica, War of the Spark, and Core 2020 all rotate out. So that's a big opportunity if you're looking to get into buying singles and buying sealed product at probably what is going to be a low point, since some of these sets are rotating out of the standard format. Looking at how these cards are going to have synergies with other cards for all of the formats all across Magic. And just to reiterate, there are a lot of implications for sealed product and for singles. So keep an eye out on what you would like to purchase and hold. Now's a good time to do it while everyone's focused on Zendikar Rising, focused on Commander Legends, and all of these other products. And these other products are rotating out, so less and less of it's going to get opened, less and less of it is going to be in the spotlight, and it's a good opportunity to buy in at that point. And thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you like the content from today's video, please click the like button. And if you are interested in sneakers and Magic the Gathering and how investments work with both of these products, click the subscribe button, click the notification button so it turns on the bell so that you can get notifications when I post a new video. In the comments below, let me know how your August of 2020 went. Did you buy the sneakers that you wanted? Did you buy the Magic the Gathering product that you wanted? Or did you suffer a bunch of L's like a lot of people did? And what you're looking forward to in the month of September. I know that was a lot of information, but I hope some of it was helpful for you in your decision making for the month of September and beyond. So that's it. Invest wisely, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.